Look, I have had this on my mind all week regarding the Philadelphia Eagles and our offensive line depth. Second-year lineman Drew Kendall is officially carving out a critical role as the team's primary versatile backup. It matters because his ability to play every interior spot is the insurance policy we need for a championship run. This situation boils down to his current development and what it means for our roster flexibility this season. There is so much to unpack here. Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your name and city below. Let's break it down. The Philadelphia Eagles are betting big on developmental depth, and today our focus shifts to second-year interior offensive lineman Drew Kendall. Selected in the 2025 NFL Draft alongside fellow prospects Myles Hinton and Cameron Williams, Kendall arrived in Philadelphia with a strong reputation as a technically sound blocker from Boston College. As of July 27, 2026, the team has made it clear that while he is not expected to challenge for an immediate starting spot, his role as a versatile reserve is critical to our championship aspirations under head coach Nick Sirianni. And the more I look at this, the clearer it becomes that his ability to play both guard positions and center makes him an invaluable asset for offensive line coach Chris Cooper. For us Eagles fans, this news feels like a necessary insurance policy against the inevitable physical toll of a grueling NFL season. We have seen firsthand how injuries to key starters can derail momentum, so knowing that someone with Kendall's collegiate pedigree is refining his craft in our system provides a sense of genuine relief. We trust Jeffrey Lurie to keep building this foundation, and seeing talent like Kendall develop quietly behind the scenes is exactly what we have come to expect from this front office. But this raises a pressing question for the upcoming preseason. If Kendall truly is as versatile as the staff believes, does this mean the coaching staff is prepared to move on from a veteran backup to clear a roster spot for him? We need to look closely at how the depth chart shifts during the first week of live action to see if this promise translates into reality. The most surprising reality regarding Drew Kendall is that he is currently positioned to potentially save the entire season if health concerns strike the interior line again. This moment was manufactured by Howie Roseman, who purposefully prioritized interior depth during the 2025 draft to avoid the vulnerabilities we saw when Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens struggled with minor ailments. Historically, the Philadelphia front office understands that championship teams are won in the trenches, a lesson cemented by the successful development pipeline that consistently turns collegiate standouts into reliable professional anchors. Kendall enters this environment with a proven track record as a first-team All-ACC performer, bringing the specific technical polish that the coaching staff demands. Here is where it gets interesting as we consider what head coach Nick Sirianni and offensive line coach Chris Cooper are discussing behind closed doors. They are not simply looking for a backup, but are actively evaluating if Kendall can handle the mental load of shifting between center and guard on a single game day. While other teams like the Cowboys or the Giants might gamble on raw athleticism, our staff values the cerebral, versatile technician who can minimize chaos when a starter goes down. If he demonstrates this mastery throughout the summer, he effectively locks his spot on the 53-man roster, providing the insurance policy that Jeffrey Lurie expects for this organization. We have seen this specific developmental model result in long-term success before. And by focusing on high-floor interior prospects, the Eagles are creating a safety net that separates them from the rest of the league. Reliability is the ultimate currency for a team chasing a trophy in 2026. So that is the official news update, but now let us look at what this really signifies for our team as we prepare for another long season under Nick Sirianni. And honestly, this development matters immensely, because the history of our franchise has shown us that championships are often won or lost based on the health of our offensive line. While we look at a starting group featuring Jordan Mailata and Lane Johnson, the reality is that the margin for error is slim when you consider the physical toll of a 17-game schedule. By prioritizing versatility in players like Drew Kendall, Howie Roseman is creating an insurance policy that allows us to maintain a high level of play even when the inevitable injury strikes. This shift in our depth chart strategy means that we no longer have to panic if a starter goes down during a critical midseason matchup against a tough defensive front like the one in Washington or New York. It provides coaching staff with the necessary flexibility to plug and play without disrupting the rhythm of our entire offensive system. This depth is what separates a playoff contender from a team that fades away in December. If we can keep our quarterback upright throughout the gauntlet of the schedule, our standing against division rivals becomes much more secure. Building this level of reliable depth ensures that our playoff aspirations remain grounded in reality rather than just hope. We are reinforcing the foundation of this team to ensure that when we face the most taxing battles of the year, we have the personnel required to finish the job effectively and keep our Super Bowl window wide open. The primary argument for doubling down on developmental interior blockers like Drew Kendall is the long-term stability it provides for our offensive line under Nick Sirianni. By stocking the roster with versatile prospects, Howie Roseman ensures we are never left scrambling when the inevitable grind of a 17-game season takes its toll on our starters. Kendall, alongside fellow developmental linemen Miles Hinton and Cameron Williams, represents a strategic investment in technical proficiency that could pay dividends if injuries arise. And I cannot stress this enough. The flexibility to slide a backup across 3 different positions is what separates a championship-caliber unit from the rest of the pack. However, the downside remains that relying on inexperienced youth in high-leverage situations is always a gamble. While these players possess the necessary technical foundation from their collegiate years, the speed and complexity of the professional game often expose even the most promising talents during their early development. Around the league, analysts often debate whether this heavy emphasis on building through the draft effectively replaces the veteran savvy typically found in seasoned reserves. Some argue that grooming your own depth is the gold standard, while others worry that relying on unproven commodities like Kendall, Hinton, or Williams could lead to communication lapses at the point of attack. Here is where I land on this. I find the excitement surrounding Kendall's potential to be a bit overblown given that we already have a cemented veteran group. While he is certainly a valuable piece of the puzzle, expecting him to be an immediate fix if a starter goes down might be asking too much before he has even logged a single meaningful snap at this level. When we step back and weigh the development of young talents like Drew Kendall against the high expectations of this roster, the landscape of the organization becomes clear. This focus on long-term depth defines the franchise direction as Jeffrey Lurie and Nick Sirianni prioritize building a sustainable pipeline that keeps us competitive even when the unexpected occurs. As fans, we should feel incredibly confident about the state of our interior line because this patience ensures that we are never left scrambling during a deep playoff run. The bottom line here is that by investing in versatile pieces, we protect the significant time and capital we have already poured into our offensive foundation. Having guys like Kendall who can rotate through 3 different positions offers a vital safety net that separates championship contenders from the rest of the league. It is comforting to know that while our starting 5 remains the gold standard, the bench is being stocked with capable, intelligent players who have been molded under expert guidance to step up without missing a beat. Watching this transition from college stars to professional depth pieces is a hallmark of this team, and it gives me total peace of mind heading into the season. Does having a versatile interior lineman like Drew Kendall, who can play both guard spots and center, make you feel more secure about our depth than having a specialist who only excels at one position? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Fly Eagles fly. I'll see you in the next one.